Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we'll be continuing our alternate future of the Middle East. And you may be wondering why there wasn't videos lately, because I wasn't feeling good. So yeah, now let's get back. So yeah, today's a good day. So how are you viewers? I hope you enjoy this video. And well, in Saudi Arabia, in the series, in the North Democratic, people say they want power. And then Hejaz wants independence. Wait, what is it even called? I'm probably calling it wrong. Name. Then we have the communists rising up in the south. And, well, what else is going on in this world? Armenia and Iran are still recovering from the war. Iraq is trying to consolidate its power over this region they annexed from Iran. Balochistan is trying to build up a military, so if Iran ever had the chance, they couldn't take them back. And, well, Saudi Arabia starts falling apart. They fall apart badly. And it's civil war with three factions: Democratic, Hejaz, and Communist. Well, the Peninsula Shield Force defends Saudi Arabia's government, but they don't directly join the conflict, leading this to become a proxy, funneled by all the nations in the surrounding. And Hejaz is not really seen as a threat, as the democratic forces and communist forces have basically recognized it, as they can't afford to fight a multiple front war. Because after all, they're not the strongest. Well, maybe they are, who knows. I guess Israel's probably supporting the democratic forces. Or would they? Who knows? With a march from the democratic forces, the democratic forces cross the border. With it seeming like monarchies are no longer wanted. It's the Saudi Arabian Civil War, that's what it gets called, since it's a civil war. Yemen splits in two. Yep, Yemen split in two. You heard that right. Yemen split in two. Into East and West Yemen. Oh yeah, it's something like this. I feel like, yeah, this is probably more likely of how it's split. North Yemen, South Yemen, but I'm going to call it East Yemen, West Yemen, because that's what it looks more like. And well, with the democratic forces making a huge march. It's not long until the communists make a huge march. But eventually Saudi Arabia agrees to give up some territories in exchange for Hejaz leaving the war. As Hejaz is now independent, but now the democratic forces make a huge march, as the government of Saudi Arabia is demoralized after a huge defeat, with communist leadership headed for Riyadh. But democratic forces are closer to Riyadh, I believe. Actually, yeah, I think it's like here. I think it's actually like here probably, or here. Yep. So let's say it's here. Yep, they take the city. And well, democratic forces are making huge advances. Eventually the communist forces start advancing fast. As the collapse of Arabia is imminent, the government capitulates. And the communist and democratic governments are created. But the communists say they're going to unite it, and they march north. But without much support, it's quickly turned. The war is quickly turned around, as Hejaz basically supports the democratic government, as they don't see them as big of a threat as communists on their border. Which means Saudi Arabia is going to turn into a democracy. Which is really soon this fall, to which Saudi Arabia annexes democratic Saudi Arabia, annexes it. And well, their march goes far. And well, the communist forces are completely kicked out of the Arabian Peninsula. Not the Arabian Peninsula, what? Well, they will be, but not yet. with most countries supporting the democratic rule. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. With it quickly turning to their collapse. As the end of it is near, they quickly start collapsing. As there's no way they can hold, they fully collapse. And yeah, they collapse. They try and take back Balochistan, with them declaring war on them. This is seen as a huge escalation. And it looks like the Peninsula Shield Force is not going to stand. And well, as Iran tries to retake it, doesn't go so well for Iran. Instead, they embarrass themselves as they can barely push this country back. And they get sanctioned. With their offensive going well at first, they even managed to get to there. And well, as I guess you guys can tell, it doesn't look good for Balochistan. But Balochistan changes the tide of the war. Yep. It looks like Iran is going to have a revolution, as Balochistan kicks them out and even invades Iran. Iran's central government is seen as weak as a democratic force rises. Especially in the north, they rise up. Mostly. Well, they're looking like Iran's going to democracy. Yep. It looks good now for their for a democracy. With democratic rebels seizing huge swaths of land. Within weeks, they occupy all of this. And quickly they move over to more of Iran's territory. Then, well, in the north they capture land, with a ceasefire being signed between Balochistan and Iran. And well, it is seen as a good sign by many countries which welcome this. But some countries aren't as friendly to this. Yep. With their land seas being huge. And well, their seas of land is humongous. The Lur state in this series isn't exactly where the Lur ethnic is. That's more like here and over here. And it gets some of Kurdistan's land, with some ethnic minorities helping, with Lurs fighting. After Tehran is seized, well, Iran gives up and formally capitulates, which is basically they surrendered. And, well, they meet with all the sides that were involved, which includes Balochistan and Lur lands. The Lur lands get an election to see if they want to join the Lur state or not. She gained some land, and then Iran looks like this now, but will they stay this way? With Iraq realizing the strongest member of this alliance, Peninsula Shield Force, has left. And they also realize America isn't involved in this series, and they're like, prime time. With the War of the Gulf. Yep, the Third Gulf War, or whatever. With most countries ignoring this war. For the most part, nobody supports, really, Iraq, but nobody doesn't. It's only a few countries. And well, quickly Iraq marches into Kuwait. Somehow it goes successful, even though I think Kuwait's probably stronger. Well, fine, they can't be. There's no way. But that much territory, population advantage, and allies aren't the same. And well, basically, we'll also look at the naval dominance which is within this region, as naval fighting rages on, with Iraq ready for this. And yeah. And then, well, Iraq takes the advantage in the naval fighting, with the leader of this basically, and Saudi Arabia allowing access to their sea for one side. But they're not strong enough after their civil war to do anything. With Iraq completely moving around Qatar. And well, Qatar and Bahrain give up as they surrender. Iraq basically says in the treaty, Qatar and Bahrain will be kicked out of the Peninsula Shield Force, and then only 2 countries are allowed to remain in this alliance, which is Yemen which is Oman and the UAE. Their goal is to rebuild this alliance. And well, East Yemen joins them, and Jordan fearing further Iraq attacks. Well, Iraq for now shall annex Kuwait, but will they keep Kuwait? Who knows? Well, in this world, Iraq's getting pretty strong. I'm always trying to add new nations into this map, as well. It's great to do that. With 2 revolutions happening in this video, with North Sudan is pretty powerful, I guess. Look how little of Libya is there. With Turkey saying, hey, we'll annex Bulgaria and Greece. How do they get away with it? Because Greece is just a few islands and Thrace, and Bulgaria is only left. And plus, I only count what's in Asia. Technically, they can't just annex those 2 countries in real life, but we're only in the Middle East. And I think I'll try to get more series. I'll just make maps myself, and then I'll get you guys to vote on it. And well, yeah, Turkey gets really strong. Well, what's left of Russia just basically joins Azerbaijan. Why do they join it? Fine, Azerbaijan annexed it. With many places are now stronger than they were. A new alliance is made in Africa. It's called the Egyptian Defense Pact, which is Egypt, North Sudan, their puppet. And Eritrea joins East Yemen and Hejaz, fearful of who will do what next. With Sudan being put to Ethiopia's side, basically. Iraq now expanded vastly in their south in this series. Iran has lost lots of territory. Turkmenistan is preparing something, I guess. And let's see. Will another nation collapse? Will Egypt run out of water? Who knows? Will Iraq get invaded by Turkey and allies? I don't know. With a democratic Saudi Arabia meeting with Israel, and they decide the new government that's democratic wants good defense. Now they make an alliance, which Iran's democratic government also joins. Now this does not make any sense. I don't think if they became democratic they'd all become friends, no. But could they? Yes. Why would I do that? I don't know. Because it's something to do. With a great war probably going to happen in the Middle East soon, nobody knows what or when or how it'll break out, but they know it's inevitable, big conflict. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like and subscribe. Why should you subscribe? We're at 243 subscribers, and we're trying to get to 375 before May 1st, which is a lot of subscribers. That's 125. 125 plus 7, which is 132. So yeah, 132 subscribers away. Can we do it? I don't know. But I think we can. And I believe we can. So that's all I need to believe I can. And well, Iraq is pretty much could join Egypt's or Turkey's alliance, but they see Turkey as a better friend. Or so they think. The world is all weird. And then Balochistan joins the Turkish alliance. Then we have the Riyadh Pact, which is for democratic nations are all welcome to join. And, well, war is inevitable to break out between these three alliances. Who likely will do the best? Probably the blue team, but who knows?
And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe. And also, leave a